Hey everyone, this is Mike Andes. You're listening to the Business Bootcamp podcast. Right now it sounds really weird because I'm actually in a studio that we've been building for the past several months. You've heard me, you can follow me on Instagram at the Mike Andes. You have heard and seen a couple pictures. And so I'm standing in the empty space now. We just got our occupancy permit, and so pretty much wrapping it up. But right now it's echoey because we got all the hardwood, no furniture in here, nothing for sound protection. So a little bit, sounds a little funny in here. But anyways, I wanted to check in with everyone. I haven't done a podcast this whole week, and I wanted to just kind of share what I've been up to. And I'm going to open up one of these windows. But yeah, we've been super busy. And I guess right now one of the big things that I'm doing and working on in my business is starting a second location. And so we obviously, our long-term goal of our company is to become a franchisor and franchise out our concept with Augusta Lawn Care Services. And that's the long-term goal, I guess you might say. But right now, I kind of think that we need to start a second location as we start the franchising process so that I have a couple different reference points for different markets. And what I mean by that is, right now, the market that we started our first location in, it has maybe 50,000 people max living there. Not even that, maybe 30, 40,000, I don't even know. It's a smaller market and not a whole lot of competition. We can charge quite a bit higher for our retail products, stuff like that. And so I want to jump right into a bigger market, that one that's like 10, 15 times as big, that's about 30 minutes from where we live. And I want to jump into that market. I want to see if the concept will still stay alive, if it'll do better, etc. And so the reason I had been kind of thinking, or like not wanting to go down that path, was because the cost of the land where we would build our shop. Well, it turns out I've been looking for the last several months, and I found this place that has incredible location, just absolutely prime location. It's just right now just like an empty lot of grass, like high, long grass. But the owner of that place lives up in Canada, and he is offered like an incredibly generous offer for a monthly lease, for like a 5-year lease, and it'd give us several months free at the beginning. And really it's just the location, because like we would have to bring in electric and water, we would have to grade the entire area, we would have to prepare the base of the soil, so that means like we would have to put in gravel, we would have to after grading it, we put in quarry rock, which is like much larger chunks of rock, and then we would on top of that put crushed asphalt, which would serve as the top layer. And so essentially creating the entire shop, just the build out cost would be about, right now I'm guesstimating about around $80,000 just to get started, which is not bad. And that's why I think this franchise concept will work so well. To start a franchise that's going to have success and it only costs $80,000 in startup capital is pretty amazing. And so that's why I think the franchise concept is going to work. And I want to prove that it's going to work in a bigger market, a market that I think we could do easily $2 million at that location. And a lot of that coming from the retail side and less of it coming from the service side. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be a lot of fun. And it's just been a lot of work, though. Like right now, I haven't been sleeping a whole lot. I've just been working on, like, during the day, I got to work on operational stuff right now and I'm going back in the studio. It's too loud outside there next to the road. But like during the day, I work 10 to 12 hours a day on the operational side of the business. And so that is growing our existing company, the service side of things, making sure that the routes are done, crews are in, doing the estimates, things like that. Hiring new people. We just have bought a couple trucks in the past month or two. And so, yeah, we've just been like super busy during the day. And then at night is when I kind of try to research, look for properties, network with the real estate agents. And then at the same time that we're doing that, I'm trying to obviously get the franchise going. And so next week's gonna be super, super important. And so like like just keep me in your thoughts. Like next week, man, we're gonna have some important meetings by the end of next week. I will have made a decision on number one, that second location. So I'll have drafted up a lease agreement for 5 years, and we will have decided to either A, not go forward, or B, like we're in it. And then the second thing that's big next week is I'm going to be talking, if you listen back like 20, 30 episodes ago, I interviewed someone named Omar Solomon. He's a CEO of College Hunks Hauling Junk. They have over 100 franchisees, and they're going to have like $80 million in revenue this year, and super successful franchisor. And he has just been really kind of taking me under his wing. I really appreciate it. And next week, we're going to talk on the phone Wednesday and kind of see, I really want to get his opinion on what we should be doing next, how the second location, how franchising, how we should be going about this, how the concept should be working. And he really kind of has been a real help in not only offering guidance, but even like going to partner perhaps with us. So Wednesday we'll be talking, we'll be seeing if there's anything that they want to do with us as far as partnering up with us. I know he is looking for new opportunities in the franchising space, and this is a industry, landscaping, which is similar to theirs, which is junk removal. And so he has a lot of experience, and he knows how to make sure that the franchisor is solid, and then make sure that the franchisees are all winning the game. And so that's going to be a really important conversation. I'm really going to take what he says to heart, and kind of whatever he says about the second location. Like, is it even worth my time spending the money and the time developing that location, or should I just focus on the franchising aspect of things? And I know from a monetary standpoint, it'd be better if I just focus only on the franchising. But I want to get his opinion, see if he thinks it'd be worth waiting for, or not focusing as much time on franchising at first and develop the second location, or should I just not even worry about the second location and just have confidence that the concept works and start selling the franchise. So that's going to be next week. It's going to be super important. Like, if I make another episode this time next week, I think you guys will know exactly what we're doing, whether we're going to start the second location, because by then I will have to draft up a lease agreement, or B, if we're going to not do that and just focus 110% of our energy on the franchising and partner up with Omar and College Hunks Hauling Junk or someone or something, and get that ball rolling. So a lot of work going on, and like as you guys have been hearing about, we've been really focusing on creating systems within the business so I can focus on growing the company. And whether it be the second location and the franchisees, like whatever it is that we're doing, I need more time out of the field, out of operational day-to-day stuff. So as next week unfolds and we get a clear direction of where we're going, it's going to be interesting over the next 6 months of how I have to change my day-to-day operationals, and how we need to have the managers, how they have to step up, the crew members have to step up, and after our off-site meeting last week or a couple weeks ago, it's just been interesting to see the progression of the maturity of the team members, the stepping up their game, picking up certain pieces that were kind of falling apart and things that were kind of just a little loose, tightening up the ropes, as it were. And so the manager will be stepping in place, and if you listen to that offsite, that'd be Fenton. He's going to be stepping in operational. So that's kind of our first step in that direction. And I already have another person I want to put into another operational manager position and have a 4 to 6 crew person team underneath him. So it's going to be interesting. There's a lot of things going on, and that's just all Augusta Lawn Care, let alone everything we're doing with the podcast. And so I know I haven't had enough time to be recording it daily, and I feel bad about that, but I still do answer a lot of your guys' questions. So if you do have questions, as always, go to businessbootcamppodcast.com, and just you can email me, or you can fill in the contact form and ask how to start, grow, or save your business. But the hustle is real. Like, if you're wanting to become a business owner, or if you are a business owner, or if you're young and you don't know what you want to do, if you're thinking about going to college, a lot of times now I hear people, they respond back to me after the first podcast they listened to, and the first time it's because they heard the book. So they heard the book Millennial Millionaire, that I wrote last year, and almost a year ago now. But they hear that, then they come on the podcast, listen to that, and then they send me a contact form or something, and they say, I want to do this. I want to become an entrepreneur, and I don't want to be in a 9 to 5. And they talk about having freedom, chase their passion, and that's all good. That's all wonderful. But then what I usually respond back with is a voice note or just a few minutes. I'm just kind of like telling them, like, don't let the hype get you into the entrepreneurial game. Don't let the bling bling. Don't let the you can make millions of dollars or own a big business or employ your friends. Like, don't let all that stuff. Don't let the big possessions, the nice car, the houses. Don't let all of that be the reason, the lure that gets you into entrepreneurship. I'd say only do it if it's in your DNA. Do it if it's like something that you can't live without. Like, if you didn't have a small business, if you were having a 9 to 5, you feel stifled. And if that's the way it is, the grind, the hustle, the amount of work it takes to get a business off the ground is incredible. And it's amazing because once you kind of hit a certain point when the company is becoming successful, it's hard almost for you to remember what it was like when you were putting in the hours and you weren't getting anything back. It's kind of hard to remember the times like financially it was super hard. I try really hard not to forget those times, and I try hard to keep those memories in perspective while we grow. And then the other thing is your employees, though, like the employees that are starting now at our company, even, or when your business is becoming successful and it's already kind of hit a certain point of success or financial stability, it like, I fear that they don't get that same feeling of camaraderie and teamwork because they never got the taste, the grind. They never got to taste the climb of getting to where we're at. And so I think that's just something I've been thinking about. Like, the hustle is real, the grind is real, but don't forget about the hustle and the grind and the 20-hour days and the 7 days a week and the sleepless nights working on the business when you really aren't even taking money out of the company. Like, don't let those memories fail you. Even as your business grows, you hit 3rd, 4th, 5th year in business, and you start to actually see traction. You're employing people, you're growing, you're starting more locations, you're expanding, you're actually taking money home now, and it's more than you've ever made in your whole life. Like, don't let those moments of euphoria and success, number one, blind you from the memories of what it used to be like and the amount of work it took, and you can take pride in that. And number two, don't let it keep you complacent, because the next time an economic, like, we've had it good for the past 10 years now economically, and don't become complacent because of your success, and then in a few years when everything hits the fan and stuff starts to happen again, people don't have money in their pockets, consumers start to tighten up, businesses start not spending money on B2B transactions. Like, when that happens, if you've been complacent, it's going to show. And so I'd tell everyone out there, and I practice what I preach here, is even when times are good and when things are going well, and as you heard in like our offsite meeting with our Augusta team, like, yes, we're doing good, but there is no complacency. There is no time to settle down. There is no time for a victory lap or a party celebration. It's just, let's move on. Let's go forward. Let's keep grinding. Like, if you listen to that offsite meeting, you heard me tell the team about how this year, or a couple months ago, we hit our first $100,000 month in revenue a month. And that was a good accomplishment. We never stopped for a moment. When that happened a couple months ago, we didn't stop for a moment. It was the next thing. It's, how can we get bigger? How do we get to $1 million a month? Like, how do we grow this thing out? There is no victory lap. There is no time to relax or take a break to celebrate your successes. It's always onward, upward, keep grinding. Don't let the grind and the hustle be something of the past. Don't let your temporary or your current successes or the past successes that you've had recently blind you from A, the amount of work it took to get there, and then B, from applying that same work ethic to getting to a better place. And so that's what I encourage you to do. I don't think that's for everyone. I don't think that everyone needs to constantly be grinding and hustling and getting, like, for some people, I was just talking to a business owner locally here, who's done really well for himself, but he's essentially grown the business, went back in late 90s. He grew his business. He was a mechanic. Started growing up the business, like by 2005, very successful. He had built a new shop with a bunch of bays, like really successful. But essentially for the past 15 years, it's been the exact same business. Like he's, done some remodeling, hired a couple more people, but like essentially it's been the same business. He didn't want to do more locations. He didn't want to expand the building to, increase output. Like he just wanted to kind of stay the same, and he's done very, very well for himself. He's easily a millionaire, but he didn't want to grow. He didn't want to go second locations. Didn't want have to deal with more employees. He has maybe 10 people now. Like he didn't want to get any bigger, and that's fine. Like it's just your goals and what you want out of life. That's what has to align with the amount of work and patience and grind and hustle that you put in. And so if your ambition, if your goal is, hey, I just want to have one business, I just want to have 5-10 employees, I want to make $200,000 a year, or whatever it is, $50,000 a year, and just be able to travel, like that is your goal, that is success for you. But I think a lot of times, and you've heard me say this before, and that is a lot of times entrepreneurs are talking about the millions they want, the big house they want to have the massive company, the Fortune 500, they want to have the private jet, and yet they forget what it was like to go from 0 to $1 million in revenue, or 0 to even 100,000 in revenue each year, and they forget about that, and they start to celebrate the successes, and they're taking a victory lap in mile 1 of a 26-mile marathon. And that's what I feel is wrong, and I feel is you'll never get to your goals. You'll never be able to live out those ambitions if you don't keep the hustle alive. So that's my little rant today in our new studio. Horrible audio right now with all this ringing and everything, but it's going to be good in the next few months. You'll see some videos, and audio definitely will be coming from this place, and I look forward to it. So until next week, we're going to have some big announcements next episode for sure about what the company's doing going forward, franchising opportunities, our collaborations with other companies, or we're going to be starting the new location by next week. We would have the lease in place to start within the next few months. So it's going to be interesting. Stay tuned. I'm so happy you've joined me for today's episode, and you joined me for this journey that I'm on of entrepreneurship, and I hope that as I go through it, something helps you grow your business. So check it out. businessbootcamppodcast@gmail.com is my email. You can email me a question on how to start, grow, or save your business, and I look forward to doing business with you.